tell us your name.
It's Larry Tuttle.
And just tell our readers about your vehicle here and what it's capable of.
Well, it's a battery electric vehicle that I converted from a gasoline-powered vehicle. You really take all the gas components out and put in a motor, some batteries, a controller, and a charger. And I have basically a reliable vehicle that goes about 25 miles on a charge. And there's very little maintenance because electric-powered cars are much simpler than gasoline-powered cars. You don't have to change the oil, you don't have all the heat problems, there's no radiator, and it's actually fun to drive too. I can set the car to deliver a lot of power. I have the controller, I have a little laptop in the dashboard, and I can set the controller to deliver 1,000 amps to the motor at startup, in which case it accelerates like it still has the 6-cylinder engine. Or I can set the controller down to about 500 amps, which lets me accelerate some, but my range gets a lot longer. So it's actually fun to drive too, and it's quiet.
How much did it cost you to do the conversion?
The truck, about $1,500, and I got this because it had no rust. So if you're going to do a conversion, it's a good idea to try to get a vehicle that doesn't have any rust to it. You know, a late model vehicle with a blown engine is the best kind. And then I bought about $10,000 worth of components to put in the motor and the batteries and the controller and the chargers. You could do a conversion if you shop around for components and maybe buy some things off eBay. You can probably get a vehicle for $500 and get about $6,000 to $7,000 worth of components. So you could have a conversion about $8,000 minimum, all the way up to $15,000.
Are there people that do these conversions? You know, if you didn't have the skill yourself, were there people that you could say hire to put it together for you?
Well, we have a club. We're the Michigan chapter of the Electric Auto Association, and that's a national organization that's been around since 1967, promoting electric vehicles. And one of the things it does is helps its members do conversions. So we have in our Michigan chapter, we have about 500 people on our mailing list, and we have about 30 conversions, and we have 3 or 4 conversions in process. And we have monthly meetings, and people come to our meetings, and we can help them pick components and give them you know, best practices and help them do their conversions. In fact, that's why I joined the club originally, because I wanted to get the benefit of other people's experience, and it helped me quite a bit.
Can a layperson do it that basically doesn't have a lot of mechanical skills, or does it take a pretty high level of skill to do one of these?
I think at some point in your life you should have worked on cars. You know, when I was a teenager, I worked on cars and things like that, and you have to have a set of tools. If not, you can do some of it yourself, and there's 3 or 4 companies in Michigan, Detroit EV and Motor City Motors. There's a couple of companies that will help you do it or do the whole thing for you. There's a company in Kansas that's done about 100 conversions, and they say bring us a pickup truck or a Honda Civic or a Volkswagen Jetta. You bring it to us and give us $12,000, and 3 weeks later you can have a conversion. So to get a battery electric vehicle that uses no gasoline at all, if you do it yourself, $10,000 to $12,000. If you have somebody else do it, $15,000. And if you do real fancy, it's $20,000.
You think electric vehicles are going to make it this time around?
I think there's 2 things that determine that. I guess one would be the price of gasoline.
Right.
Government encouragement, incentives, and rebates and things, and the cost of batteries. If manufacturing volume helps get the cost of lithium batteries down lower and lower and lower, the purchase price of the cars will be lower and lower and lower, and therefore that will open the market up to a bigger section of people.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Sure.